Hello, so today I'm going to explain about my J component. So this is the whole circuit. As you can see, there is a network which consists of PCs, printers, servers, access points, wireless devices, etc. And this part is consists of the smart hostel, which has various IoT components, and this part is a smart guest house. So let's move on to each and every part of it. So now let's go on to each and every part. So the first, let's see about the hostel part. Now if we zoom in, now let's see what each component does. So this is our server, which is connected to this motion detector, this PC and this access points. So first let's see what all conditions are given. So first inside the config, so this is how I have configured it. So we are supposed to give this to any of the PCs connected to the server. So you go here, uh, you go here. Now the username is admin h, password is also admin. Now you can see that there is only like webcam and motion detector, which is like the IoT component. Others are all like PCs and other things. So here you can see that whenever there is a motion, that is IoT 61 is on is true, means IoT 61 is the motion detector. So whenever it is true, the webcam should also be on, and whenever it's false, the webcam should be off. So that is what we have given in this part. So let's see whether how it works. So Alt plus the mouse click will give me the red symbol, which indicates that it's on, and here also the webcam is on. So whenever a motion is detected, we'll get to see the IoT component getting on. So here this is IoT, then this one. Yeah. So here you can see whenever I'm doing this, now you have to re-log in. So admin h, admin h, admin. Let's wait for the server to on. So that's what's happening here. So here now since the server is not on, so here you can see whenever, like, if you can't on the webcam because the motion is not, even though I'm trying to do it, doesn't allow it actually. So what we have to do is we have to do this one and it gets on automatically. So now let's go on to the next part. The whole of the components are connected to a single home gateway. So inside, to see the home gateway, all the conditions, we have to go to the LAN part, get the IP of the home gateway, go to the smartphone which is connected to it, go. So here it's admin h, admin h. So I'm submitting it. Sometimes the server is down. So here now you can see all those. Now I have connected smartphone and it is in the home gateway server. So now you can see all those which are connected to it. Now let's see for each and everything. So here in the conditions, if you see, since there are so many conditions, it gets reset. Let's wait for a while. Now let's see how this RFID part works. So when we take the RFID card and place it here, this is a valid card. So as soon as I place it here, you can see as soon as I place it here, the door can be opened. But as soon as I take it back and place it here, it gets closed. You can't open the door even if you press Alt and mouse click. Now even if you keep an invalid card, you can't open the door. So that's the condition that's given in the server part. Now this webcam, it's connected to this one and it's always on. Now let's go on and see the fire monitor. So in the fire monitor, this is a thing which is configured in such a way as to produce a required result to bring out a fire. So it's programmed in such a way. Now if you keep the thing here, both the sprinklers on. And if you take it much farther away, if you take it much farther away from this, gets off. Now the temperature is another thing. So if you go on to the server part, you can see, if you go to the smartphone part, now the condition, just have to log into it. Logging in. So the door one was something which I told before. So it's like waiting. So it's in between this waiting invalid thing, and then you suddenly keep this and you keep it here. We can see that this condition is becoming valid, and the door open is now it's unlocked and it's open. So you can do it. So it doesn't happen for the other case. In the other case, you can see, yeah, in this case you can see it's locked. You can't open it. So when if you keep an invalid card also, it's gonna be the same case. It's locked and it's invalid, showing it. It's not getting confused between whether it's valid or invalid. It doesn't have it's like it's locked. And now if you see the, let's go on and see the next fire sprinkler part. So see, the sensor also I have given. The fire sprinkler will be on whenever. So that if you go on to the conditions, there's so many conditions, so it's getting stuck. So if you want to see it, like, it's actually programmed. So let's see, we can see this part and this part together. So fire sprinkler, this one is 62, so, and 61, and the fire sensor. So when fire is detected, now this part, you can see that fire detected. So status of this fire sprinkler, which is 67 as well as 62, becomes on. Now if I let me minimize this part. So if I am taking this thing and keeping it away, then everything is becoming red. So that's that case. Now let's see this one. This one is the water level monitor. So I have kept it, this one water level monitor, IoT 4 is this one. So we have two water level monitors, so we are seeing the IoT 4 one. So whenever this water level becomes lower than a certain value, it has to start sprinkling. That is the 13, 17, there are so many numbers for this, like 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 17, 7 and 10. So these all on sprinklers are added, and we have kept the condition in such a way. I have already taken a screenshot of the condition, so it doesn't come. Okay, it's come. So if here the fire detected one, we have kept 62 and 70, 62 and 67 as status as true. Whenever 75 status is 1, or else it's 0. Now for the RFID also, you could see the same thing, that whenever so we have given the card number as 1001. So whenever it's that card is kept, it's, if it is not 100, because we have only kept card, you can actually keep 2-3 conditions like 1001, 1000. You can keep infinity, but here whenever that is kept, it's done or else not. Now the other one is the other one, if it's nothing is there, then it's like, if it's in waiting status, then also it should be logged. That is what we have given in this point. Now water level for IoT 64, let's go on. So it's like from 0 to 70, if it is there, then you have to true. If the water level is less than 70, basically it should be true, otherwise it can be, the sprinkler should be off. So now on seeing that condition, let's move on to this part in the home page. Let's refresh it. Yeah, so here you can see that whenever the water level monitor, let's just take one example so that we get a good brief idea. So set 30. So whenever the water level, it's like coming like below 70 and all, it's getting on, and whenever it's getting more than 70, it's getting off. So here if you see also, just see the water level and see this ground part thing. So whenever it's 90, it's off. Now again when it's 52, it's on. 83, it's off. 70 means also it's off only because it's less. 51.2, it became on. So 69.7 also it was on. So that is how it works. Now let's go on to the air cooler system part. Now we have a temperature monitor which sees the temperature. So it's 2.9 degrees Celsius, because of which the AC will be off, because I have given the condition like it should be, you can't on it, it's off now. Even if I press Alt Enter also, the button just press, but it's not allowing it to get on. Even though the green signal is trying to come up, it's not allowing it to come up. Now because we have given here the condition, if it loads we can see. Yes, so here we have given the condition. See, if it's greater than or equal to 14 degrees Celsius, then only you should on the AC, or else it should be off. Even 14 degrees Celsius, so that it's easier to see the output. But since it's just 3 until now, it will take much time to reach 40. Let's refresh this once more. But on refreshing again, now we have got it. So there is another water level monitor 69, which is on this part, and it's always like above the particular condition. We have given something around a very small value, due to which it's not sprinkling at all. The condition can be seen if the server comes up. Let's once more refresh it. Now the condition came, and yeah, see in this part there's a water level. It's between, if it's greater than 15 only we have to, if it's greater than 15 we don't have to sprinkle. If it's only less than 15 we have to sprinkle. That's what I have given the condition, due to which it's not sprinkling now, because it's always above 15 in this case. So that's the thing. Now let's go on to the next part, which are the rooms part. So this was particularly the hostel office, the friend slot, and all those stuff. Now in the room also we have given a fire indicator. So if we keep it here, you can see that this one comes on. If I keep it over here, this one is on. If I keep it here, this one, and if I keep it here, this one will be on, and further that's how it works. Now it's similar, but the only difference here is, instead of using a home gateway, you have used an SBC board, and we have connected all the components. Now here another one we have done is a common switch for both the fan and light in all the rooms. So if I click Alt Enter, I'll get the fan is running, the light is running. Now again, if I click Alt Enter, the fan is running, the light is running. So again here also, if I do the same thing, the same stuff happens. So here you can see. So here, now if you come down, this part is not actually for the door. Actually, it's actually not required. If you want, you can use this as a switch. So this part is for fan light. This part also fan light, and this part also fan light. It's just a continuation of them. So all the rooms look similar. It's just a repetition, just to show the whole network. So that's the only thing. Now let's move on to the guest house part. So in the guest house part, if we concentrate on it, so here we have a switch for the fan. Now we have a switch for the light. Now it's glowing. So yeah. Now actually what we have done is, we have programmed it inside this SBC board. So if you come into the programming part, you can see we are importing everything, time and everything, and we have just given lawn sprinkler control. It doesn't make any sense. And then we have digital read, because we have connected to the 5th pin and the 6th pin for light and fan. We have read it as digital read 5, digital read 6, and whenever the digital read is greater than 0, we have to on the fan. Whenever it's not like less than 0, basically it's meant it's 0, you have to off. So on is like 1 and off is 0. The same case goes for light also. We have done this in Python script. So further what we have done, we have used a server to know the carbon dioxide control. So if I take this part, and if I go into the configuration part and get this IP, if I go on to some PC control server, so if I go here, I go to the programming, I'm in the desktop part, and I paste it, and we keep here EVM. Now we have all these things, even though it's also connected, but our main thing is the garage door, the door, and the window. So what we have given here conditions are, if the IoT 9's level is greater than 1, that is the carbon dioxide level greater than 1, then we have to set both That is, the window and the garage door should be open. There's 1 and 8. You can see here 1 and 8. And if it's less than 1, you have to set both to false. That is, if it is less than 1, you can close the window, it doesn't matter. But if it's greater than 1, you should open the window so that you don't get suffocated. So that's the main idea. So what we do is, now we can see the carbon dioxide level here. It's 0.036. Now which is like less than 1. So I mean less than 1. Yeah, so less than 1. So what, we can close the window. Close the window is false. Like you can open the window. Like if I do an alt enter, I can open it. It doesn't restrict me in that. So it's closing the window. So it gets closed. Like even though I'm trying to open, it's not required. So it doesn't open. Like it tries to open, but if I change this condition, like if I keep it just like, we have to open the window, right? So we have to keep it less than 0. If I keep it, obviously it's greater than 0. And if it's greater than 0, then I have to on it. And if it's less than 0, so if I keep here 0, to off it. So if I refresh this part, I refresh it up, you can see that the carbon dioxide level is this much. Now the door and the garage window is open. If I try to close it also, it doesn't close. It doesn't allow me to close. It tries, that's why you see a blink of a red. It tries to close, but it's not allowed. You can't just close it. It just comes down, but it sees the condition and it goes off. So that's how you can like actually adjust this part using these conditions. So using these conditions you can adjust the part. So that is the case in home, in guest house. All the other things are like similar. And now one thing which I forgot to mention is this part. This is like a solar panel, a power meter, a battery, and a thing. A thing is basically any we just meant an end device, and here we have taken an LED to show how the battery charge can be transferred onto the LED. So here the solar panel will get energy, which will be stored in the battery, which will further be supplied onto the LED, which makes it start glowing. Now if the battery had been dead, like if it was 0%, you will get a black screen. And this power meter is just basically, it's just to try it out. It's just to measure the amount of power. And now we can see here, now after these two networks are quite over, and this temperature part I have discussed. Now the water drains, whenever if there is more water, I have kept it like the water drain should be on. So it's basically all it's fully on only every time. It doesn't have much conditions. Now since all this part is completed, now let's go on to the network part, which actually displays that the whole class thing. So we have 3 routers. This acts as the SMTP server, whereas this acts as the FTP server. And we have also just changing the FTP, we can also analyze the HTTPS services provided by this server. Now let's see how the packets are being routed. So let's do in real time, because in simulation it gets jammed. So in real time we'll do. We can see the success down. So here, now if I'm doing, it's from PC6 to PC3, and I have done it and it's successful. So inside each of the connections, it's successful inside each switch. Now if I do from this printer to this laptop, also you can see it's successful. From this PC to this PC, you can go down and see it's successful. If you toggle the window, you'll get a better view. Now if you keep, it's successful. So now let's go on to the next scenario. So next scenario is whether you can move from this to this, which you definitely can, since we have done the RIP part. So first we have to make the router know that there is a PC here. So we sent one request to the router, which was successful because it's well aware of the gateway. Now this PC will also send a packet to the router saying it's also there. So it also identifies the gateway, and then once both the PCs have sent it, now we send among the PCs, and it becomes successful because the router knows that this PC is here, this PC is here, so it just routes it properly. How we have done it is using RIP protocol. So here we have kept the RIP. Now we have three network addresses. One is regarding to this subnet, like 192.168.1.1. So whenever we put 1 point, it becomes 0 in the router's RIP network address. Now here it's the 192.168.2.0, and this one is the serial one which connects this router to the next router. Now we have how we get these values are through the gateways. We have already assigned gateways for each of these PCs. If you see here, we have assigned the gateway as this 1.1, and for this PC we have assigned it as 2.1. So it is well aware of its gateway, and the router is also well aware of where to go. So it matches it up and it's done. Now let's go on and see the second scenario where this router is able to send a packet to this router, and through it it's able to connect to these devices. So let's see, let's take it as a second scenario. Now we will send this router to this router, which is successful because it's also much aware of this 10.0, and here this router also in its RIP network, it has 10.0, 20.0, 192.168.3.0, 4.0, 9.0 and 10.0. It's well aware of all these networks. Now we have to send this to this. So it's also successful because it's much aware of this gateway, and this to this. It's also successful because this is also much aware of its gateway. Now let's try routing this to this. It's also successful because it knows it should go through this gateway, it should go to this one and this one. We can see that PC6 has successfully sent the packet to laptop 1. Now let's try with this one and this one. So let's see this PC. Is successful. PC9 has successfully sent to PC19. If you zoom in, like if you want to see the numbers, PC9 has sent to PC19, and PC6, even though it looks like 8, it's 6. It has sent to laptop 1. Now let's make this router also well aware of its components. So we send a packet from this router. Now let's make it as a second scenario before sending. Third scenario. So here we are gonna send this packet to this router. Is successful because it also has all the gateways well assigned to it. If you go to RIP 2.0 and 192.168.10.0, so it's much aware. Now we have to keep this to make the PC and the router much aware of each other. Now let's see whether it's able to send from this to this. Now since now since we have seen everything, now let's see whether we are able to route in the access points properly. It's successful because both these are connected to the same access point, and we have done it through this part. So if you click on the access point config, port 1, we have given the SSID number, the range, and also the VEP and the VEP key. Now in the smartphone also we can see VEP and VEP key same, and the SSID is same. Now here also, if you are gonna click it up, you can see here the VEP and the VEP key are same, and also hello. Now let's further, since we have done with this part, now let's go on further and see the SMTP server. So here you can see now what we have to do is we have to off the services of HTTPS. We have to see whether everything is off. So this is off, 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 this one, yeah. Now this SMTP is on, FTP is off, and IoT is also off. So here in email part, I have already added admin and staff as 2 users, and the domain name is set as ava.com. So now we have 2 PCs which are connected to this. So let's go on to the desktop part. See here. So here you can see email. So I have just already done one, but let's do something from the starting. So what, before composing, what you have to do is to configure the mail. So here I have given admin, his email address, the incoming mail server and outgoing, both are same here. So we give here, and then here also admin and his password. Now what I have to do compose to, I have to send it to the, here it's admin, so I have to send it to my staff. Give it an admin, so I'll compose something for my staff. So staff at ava.com. Subject is hello. Hello staff. Now if you send here hello staff. If I send here, now it's sent. Now we'll see, this is our staff one because we have already gone on to the Gmail part. Now if you see here, configure the mail, you can see it's kept staff@.com, everything according to the staff. Now if you plus receive, I have already received. See now if you see the date, and the date is quite different, but you can see this part. Hello staff, and it's been sent. So staff from admin at this is something which we are already sent, and this is a new one. Now if you want to reply or compose it, so you reply to him as hello admin and you send it. Now if you take the admin page and you press receive, you get it. Hello staff, he has replied. So he has given hello admin. So that's how you configure the mail version, the mail part. Now if you go on to this server, so you can do it the same thing, but I'm just doing it in separate things. That's it. So here it's HTTP is on, so I have to off it up. DHCP is off, everything else is off. Yeah, that can be on only. This is off. AAA is off. NTP should be off. Email is off. FTP. Okay. Now here in FTP, you can see I have already added a user admin with the password admin, and I have given all the permissions like read, write, rename, delete, and list. So if I want, I can again give one more user like user, and I can give the password as user. And I may just say he can maybe read. Okay, he can read, write, and rename and list. He can do only these 3. So I have kept this. Now what I'm gonna do is, now it's on, right? So I'll go on to a PC which is connected to it. I'll go to the desktop part, go to the command prompt. Here what I'll do, ipconfig. So I'll get the gateway part. So here I'll do FTP 168.10. Now I have to see my server's IP. So the IP is 10.3. So I'll give here 10.3. Now I have not kept 192. That's why it's there. So 192.168.10. So it's connected. Now it's connected to the FTP server. You can see it clearly. It's connected to the FTP server. Now I'll give username admin and ask for the password. That's also admin. Now it's the passive mode of FTP is on. So what I can do is I can click a help button and I'll get all the commands. Now if I keep dir, I get the directories. So there are 32 files here, and you can see. Now if I want to delete, see admin can do everything. So let's see whether he can delete this file. So ASA, I forgot the file name, ASA 842 k8.bin, k8.bin. So deleting, and it's been successfully deleted. Now you have 32 files. Now once more, if you give the directory function, you will see that you have only 31 files, and your file which is on the first one, that is ASA 842 -k8.bin has been removed, and it has been replaced, like the one which is below that got shifted up. Now let's just come out of this FTP and just see whether the user can delete, because the user we have given it as he can't delete, he only has all other permissions, he is not a person who is capable of deleting. So let's move out of the directory. I have used the quit option. I have moved out of the directory. Now once again let me do the same thing, and let me get into the directory, I mean into the FTP. So now I have kept the FTP. Now I'll keep it as user. So user, it's correct. So you have to keep the password. It's also user. Now passive. Now he can read. You can like see the files. Now you can see one file is there. One file is not there. Now again we am trying to delete from the, because the user doesn't have a permission to delete. So delete. Let me see which one. Say 923 actually it is. So I already have it written. So I just have to change this part, right? So 923. If I keep it, saying request not taken, permission denied, because oh sorry, yeah 923, yeah correct. So request not taken and permission denied, because the user is not allowed to delete anything. He can read, write, and list and everything. He is not allowed to like what to say. He is not allowed to delete. But now if I go on to the server, if I go to the services FTP and I give it as delete also and save. Now he has also got the delete option. Now let's once try it out. Okay, now let's once quit from this part. Okay, let's quit out of this. Now let's see. Once more we are going to the user part only. We are giving user only. That's logged in. Now we are giving directly. So the directory is still there because the user was not allowed to delete it. Now we are going to delete it out. Now it's successfully deleted because the user is given the permission to delete the file. Now again if you are seeing the directory, you can see again there is only 30 files. So that's how we have used networking as well as IoT, and we have implemented a Cisco Packet Tracer document which actually comes and sees into so comes and sees into IoT based things as well as networking based things, where you have implemented HTTP, FTP, and also we would like also to implement HTTPS. So we just have to off this part, HTTP, just on these two. Now we have index dot, just have to know the server. So if I go here and if I take, let's go on to this PC. If I go to the browser and if I paste it here, it goes to the print. Like index is actually the default page which goes in any web service. Now we have seen that there are an infinite number of pages. I mean not an infinite number, but it's a very much amount of pages in this. So if you see, we have an image.html page. So let's see if we give a slash image.html, you can see we have gone to the image.html page. So that's how HTTP also works in this. So that's all. So we have gone through IoT services which are being provided and which are stimulated. This is Cisco Packet Tracer. We have seen in both scenarios of having a small house, like a guest house, and also in a big enterprise or a big hostel feature, where there are many rooms, where there are many components which we have to control, where there are permissions and other stuff. Where we have also seen how the networking goes on, how the packets have been transferred successfully from one component to other one, and how like wireless connections are done, how wired connections are done, how the servers are being used, how we have used SMTP, FTP, as well as HTTPS, which are some of the protocols which are prominent today. So that's all. Thank you. So that's all. With that, we are coming to an end. Thank you. And thank